Good morning everyone from Nara Station. Today is a beautiful day, really great weather, about 72, 73 degrees out, full sun. But we have a lot of stuff to do today, so we're going to be jumping around quite a bit. We are going to walk through Nara Park to see these really cute and really friendly deer before heading to our first destination. So something interesting I learned is outside of shrines they have these stone lanterns. These are called toro, and they're created for important people or big donors to the shrines. And some of them are quite old, and we found some dating back to the early 1600s even. After finishing up at the shrine, we headed over to the famous Nara Misa Chaya restaurant, which is this cute, old-looking building, really traditional-looking, where we had some of the best matcha ice cream I've had here to date, with a nice sweet bread on top. Afterwards, we went by, just checked out some of the older buildings in the area, saw some really pretty views of the city and the park from above, before heading to our next location. Welcome to Toraiji Temple, which houses this giant Buddha statue, one of the largest in the world, which is about 50 feet tall, entirely made of bronze, and dates back to 743 AD. Of course, staying in the historical and cultural center of Japan, Kyoto, we decided to stay in a machiya, which is a traditional style Japanese house. I definitely recommend this experience for everyone if they arrive in Kyoto. It was super nice, super accommodating. It was about $140, I think, so less than your average hotel room, and you get this whole house. After relaxing a little bit, we headed that night to Fushimi Inari Shrine, where we saw the 1000 Tori, or 1000 Red Gate walk. We didn't go through the whole walk, but it was still pretty cool to go and see, and we just walked through a little bit of them before heading early the next morning to take a tour of Nijo Castle, which is one of the primary residences of the Emperor of Japan during the Edo period. After hopping on a quick train ride, we arrived in our next location. Its name literally translating as a storm mountain. This is Arashiyama. We were already pretty tired and hungry, so we decided to stop into a restaurant nearby, which was really good. Here's where I got some yakisoba noodles, and Yano got some rice and curry of some sort. But here's also where I noticed that they don't use cards at all in this part of the country. Everything's paid for in cash, which was pretty interesting, but we had to get on to our next location. After a very crowded and very long walk all the way to the top, probably about a 30-minute hike uphill, we finally arrived to Kiyomizu Shrine, which was beautiful and definitely one of my favorite shrines in the area. On our way back down from the hill, we found this really cute Snoopy-themed cafe, so we thought we deserved to have some ice cream to make our descent a little bit easier and more bearable, as we still had a couple more locations we were hitting today. This is Kinkakuji, the Golden Temple, which originally opened in 1955, so not too old, but quickly became one of the most popular Zen Buddhist temples in all of Japan. Walking just down the street from Kinkakuji is Doanji Temple, which is one of the most famous Zen Buddhist gardens in the world, dating back to 1450. By this point, we were exhausted and finally headed back to Arashiyama. Here we checked into our ryokan, which is a Japanese traditional style inn. The service here was unlike anything I've ever seen. They even greeted us with some matcha and sweet red bean dessert, which was both really good. As we continue our small little tour here, this place was quite a bit smaller than the machiya, the traditional style house that we stayed in the night previous, but the amenities were just as nice. So we walk in, bathroom, of course everything is sanitized. Again, super nice toilets everywhere. Don't think I can state that enough. And next we're heading into the shower room, where there's a small little bathtub, sliding traditional paper doors, a little sitting area with the TV, which doesn't look too special. Next, we're in the main room, living room. We have this really pretty view. You couldn't see it too well here. It was night after all, and they did give us these traditional slippers, which, I mean, probably weren't the most comfortable thing ever. They're wooden. It was nice. They even had this outdoor private onsen that we could use, super nice and hot, and a couple different entry and exit points. But now it was time for dinner. I really challenged myself a lot. I couldn't read the menu at all. I think Ian also struggled a bit with that. So I didn't really know what I was eating most of the time. Everything was a surprise for the most part. But while most of the things I probably wouldn't eat again, I was glad I got the experience. After finishing our 12-course meal, they gave us some tea and a little bit of a chocolate cake, which is really good, but we were exhausted, so we headed back up to the room where they prepared our bed for us. Next morning, we decided to head downstairs to go get some breakfast, which was all included in the price of our stay, before heading to the famous Arashiyama bamboo forest, which was absolutely beautiful, although quite small. Maybe we didn't explore all of it, I'm not sure, but definitely recommend it. It was super pretty this time of year. Everything was so green. But what I find interesting is just off my raw footage here, these bamboo shoots almost look purple. On returning back, as the name suggests, rain started falling, but we still had one more stop. We had to go see these little guys at the Arashiyama Monkey Park. It was definitely a long hike up. We weren't really expecting a hike, to be honest, and not to mention it was raining and cold. I was numb for the whole part, but we finally made it, and there's this nice little sanctuary up top where you see all these monkeys sitting around, one screeching. Definitely a fun thing. Would be nice to do on a nice sunny day. After a long and successful trip, we finally caught the bullet train and we started heading back to Tokyo. I know we jumped around a lot, especially in this episode, but we have a lot more exciting stuff to come up. So, thank you guys for watching. I love you.